Hi, I'm Captain Stephanie Menno, and welcome to Tactical Mobility Active Recovery and Mindfulness. Today, I will be guiding you through a total relaxation sequence designed to help promote rest and recovery. During this sequence, we will be holding postures for longer periods of time to work deep into connective tissue. You can utilize this sequence as a way to help you wind down for a good night's sleep, when you're working on getting extra rest and recovery after a challenging workout, or maybe just when you're feeling a little stressed. We'll start in a seated, comfortable position, so go ahead and find a comfortable seat, crossing the legs, resting the hands anywhere that feels good, either on the knees or in the lap. And we'll take a moment here to check in with our bodies and with our breath. So you can close the eyes completely or draw the gaze downwards towards the floor, whatever's comfortable for you. Let's just do a quick body scan and take note of anywhere we might be holding on to stress or anywhere you might feel tension. So just scanning all the way down from the crown of the head to the feet. You can bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart if you would like. And we'll do a quick check-in on the breath. So on your inhales, feeling the rise and the fall of the chest and the belly. Feeling this expansion in the belly, the ribs and the chest as we fill our lungs with fresh oxygen. And on the exhales, feeling the fall of the chest, then the ribs and the belly as all the stale air leaves the body. Continuing to inhale and exhale, just taking note of the sensation of the breath. When we allow ourselves to breathe deeply in this way, we activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which can help promote even deeper relaxation. Shallower, shorter breaths tend to trigger our sympathetic nervous system, which is a stress response and not what we're looking for this practice. So just take a few moments here, focusing on the breath, imagining the breath traveling throughout the body to any areas where you may feel tension or soreness. And then go ahead and relax the hands back down into the lap or down to the knees and return your breath to a normal pace. We'll start with some neck rolls. So go ahead and drop the right ear down to the right shoulder, feeling this tension start to release along the left side of the neck down into the left shoulder, letting the left shoulder be heavy as it falls closer towards the earth. Just taking a few breaths here. And then dropping the chin down towards the chest, allowing the head to be heavy. Feeling the stretch along the back side of the neck. With each exhale, feeling the shoulders melt even further away from the ears. And then dropping the left ear over to the left shoulder to stretch out the right side of the neck down into the right shoulder, allowing that right shoulder to drop even further away from the ear. Just take a few breaths here. And then bring the chin back down to the chest. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder. And complete a couple more rounds here at your own pace with the breath. Just releasing this tension through the neck and the shoulder. It's where we tend to hold most of our stress. And then go ahead and bring the head back to center. And we'll go ahead and do a few rounds here of seated cat and cow. So again, finding the hands on top of the knees so you can rest the hands palms down on the knees here. And on the inhale, we're going to gaze up at the ceiling, arching the back, sticking the tailbone out for cow. And on the exhale, we're going to pull the belly button into the spine, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone under, tucking the chin towards the chest for cat. Inhale, arch the back, gaze goes up, tailbone sticks out. Exhale, pulling the belly button into the spine, rounding the back. And do 2 more rounds here on your own with the breath. Arching the back with the inhale, rounding the spine with the exhale. Imagining the breath traveling through each vertebrae of the spine here with this gentle movement. And then go ahead and come back to a neutral spine. And we're going to shift into a seated spinal twist. So go ahead and bring the right foot to the outside of the left knee. And then tuck that left foot back in towards the right glute. And we're going to find a nice tall spine here. So imagine a string coming from the top of the head, pulling the crown of your head up towards the sky. And we're going to reach that right arm up high. And then we're going to set that right hand back behind us, resting the arm against the spine almost like it's a second spine. And then we're going to reach that left hand up and bring that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. So you might be feeling this twist right here without moving any further into the pose. But if you'd like to get an even deeper twist here, on the inhale, find length in the spine, reaching the crown of the head tall. And on the exhale, start to twist the spine, looking over that back right shoulder. And with each inhale, finding more length, a little bit of a lift. And then on the exhale, contracting and twisting the spine, looking even further towards that back wall. And we don't want to force anything here. If you start to feel like this is a little too much, or if it's painful in any way, feel free to back off. And wherever you meet that resistance, just give yourself a moment to breathe. Inhaling and exhaling to help facilitate that twist. And then gently coming out of this twist, we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So bringing the right leg down to the bottom, and the left foot comes to the outside of that right knee, the right foot back towards the left glute. So again, finding length here in the spine, reaching the left hand up tall, and then setting it back behind you, creating a second spine with that left arm. Now reach the right fingertips up towards the sky, and then bring that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. And before you start to twist here, take a moment with the inhale to find that nice tall spine, crown of the head is lifted, and then on the exhale, begin to twist towards that back shoulder, looking out over the shoulder towards the back wall. Again, going just as far as you need to today, don't force it. Each inhale finding more length, each exhale twisting a little bit further, wringing out the spine, getting a nice compression here of all your internal organs. Taking a couple more rounds of breath. And then gently untwisting. We're going to go ahead and set back into a child's pose to take a moment here. So come on to all fours. And in this child's pose, you can bring your knees as wide as you'd like, or as close together as you'd like, whatever's comfortable, whatever you need today. Set the tops of the feet down on the mat and then start to set your hips back towards the heels, maybe resting the forehead on the mat. You have some options with your arms as well. You can keep them out long. You can bring them in to use them as a pillow. If your knees are in closer together, you can bring them by your side. Whatever you need today, just find a comfortable child's pose. And allow yourself to shift the focus back to the breath. Feeling the belly expand as it reaches in between the thighs, and the collapse of the lungs and the belly on the exhale. If your attention starts to wander, thinking about things going on later today, to-do lists, try to let those thoughts pass and bring yourself back to this moment, back to the breath. And on your next inhale, gently bringing yourself back up, we're going to come onto our belly to set up for Sphinx pose. So letting the tops of the feet rest on the mat, bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders or maybe slightly in front of the shoulders. Your forearms and your hands are flat on the mat here. Feet are pressing into the mat. And on an inhale, you're going to lift the chest, so peel the chest up off the mat. Maybe look up at the ceiling if that's okay for the neck to get an even deeper back bend here. So you're engaging the muscles along the spine to support yourself in this pose, feeling a nice stretch on the front side of the body. If your chin is lifted, you might feel this all the way down the throat, through the chest and into the belly. And you can roll the thighs, the outside of the thighs down towards the mat. This is going to help activate the spine to keep the spine even longer here. Imagining drawing the shoulders down and back, keeping the chest lifted and forward. Taking a couple more breaths here. And then when you're ready, go ahead and releasing back down to the mat gently. Coming onto all fours. We're going to switch around, find a seat for single leg forward fold. So you can start bringing both legs out long, and then go ahead and take your left foot and bring it to the inside of your right thigh, wherever's comfortable here. So just don't put too much pressure on the knee. Try to keep it off the knee. And then you can shift your hips to make sure they're evenly seated here on the ground. And then you're going to sit tall to get set up for this posture, and then gently start to twist yourself over that right leg so you're nice and even with that straight front leg. And on the inhale, find that length here throughout your spine, crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, begin to hinge at the hips and fold forward. So I don't want you to round your spine here. I want you to keep a nice long spine as you hinge forward, folding forward over that front leg. And you can bend that knee as much as you need to here. So if this feels uncomfortable, if your hamstrings are really tight, you can bend that front knee to take some of that pressure off. Just knowing that when you start to straighten that front knee, you're going to feel that stretch more into the hamstring. And another way to activate and get more out of this stretch is to imagine pulling the toes towards your face. So pulling that pinky toe back towards your face. And imagine activating the muscles on the front side of the body. So your quadricep muscle here, your abdominal muscles. So activating those front side body muscle groups, and then relaxing the muscles on the back side of the body, through the leg, up through the spine. And you can slowly walk your hands out here if you'd like, maybe reaching for those toes. But we don't want to pull ourselves here. We don't want to force anything in this posture. Just allowing yourself to settle deeper into the stretch with each breath. Working deep into that connective tissue and the fascia. And then gently walking the hands back. Go ahead and bring that left leg out long with the right. Maybe take a second here to shake the legs out. Notice any differences between the right and the left side. Just take note of that before we shift to the other side. So bringing the sole of the right foot into the left thigh. Again, avoiding placing that foot directly on the knee. We don't want to put too much pressure on that joint. And then go ahead and get a long lifted spine, rotating over that left leg that's in front of us. Inhaling, and on the exhale, hinging at the hips, beginning to fold forward over that front leg. Again, bending the knee as much as you need in the beginning here to help facilitate getting into this stretch. Keeping that spine nice and long, not rounding here. Nice, long, straight spine. The goal is not to get necessarily a connection between the upper body and the leg, but to feel a stretch along the hamstring. So you could be up here and feel a stretch. You could be down here and feel a stretch. It's all about where you are today. Pulling those toes back towards your face, maybe walking the fingertips out to get even deeper into this stretch, maybe reaching for those toes if that's accessible to you today. Again, engaging those front side body muscles to help facilitate relaxing the back side body muscles. Deep inhales, deep exhales. And then gently begin to walk yourself back up to a seated position, bringing both legs out long, maybe shaking them out. Again, just noticing any differences between the two sides. And then we're going to get settled here for, before we go into final relaxation pose, we're going to do one more stretch on our back. So go ahead and relax down all the way to your back. And reach around for the right knee, so bringing both hands on top of the right knee. And on an exhale, start to pull that right knee in towards the right armpit. So feeling a compression here between the right thigh and the belly. So on each inhale, feel your belly press up into your thigh. And on your exhale, bringing that knee a little bit closer into the armpit, feeling that compression of the thigh onto the belly. And then taking that left hand, gently guiding the right knee over the body for a nice twist here. So again, not forcing anything, but you can use that left hand as a little bit of a weight to apply some pressure to keep that knee in position, but we don't want to necessarily force anything with the hip. So just getting comfortable here. You can reach the right arm out long to the side. And if you'd like to get a little bit of a stretch into the neck here, you can look out over those right fingertips. Feeling the stretch all the way through the right hip. A nice twist through the low back. And then gently begin to draw that right knee back in for one last final squeeze into the belly, and then exhale, relax it long. And we'll do the same thing on the left side. So drawing the left knee in, reaching around with both hands, pulling that left knee in towards the left armpit, feeling that compression between belly and thigh. If there's any pain or pinching here, just back off a little bit. We don't need to pull so much that we're causing discomfort. The goal here is just to create that compression between the belly and the thigh. And then gently using the right hand to guide the left leg over the body, coming into that nice twist. Reaching that left arm out long if you'd like, turning to look over those left fingertips. Feeling this nice stretch through the left hip. And then gently guide the left knee back up and over the body. Give it one last squeeze in towards the armpit. And then relax the left leg long. And relax your whole body here in final relaxation pose. So take a moment to get comfortable. If there's any areas that you might still be feeling any tension, maybe try to actively release that tension now. Close the eyes. And just taking note of any differences you might be feeling in the body from the beginning of class. And as those thoughts come up here in final relaxation pose, just imagine swiping them away. Giving yourself a few final moments here to focus completely on the breath. To absorb all the benefits of the practice. And you can feel free to stay here in this pose as long as you would like, and enjoy further stillness if you'd like. But if you're ready to move on, gently start to roll to one side, bringing the knees up towards the chest, maybe resting the head on the arm. Taking a moment here in this transition before you transition on to the rest of your day. Using your hand to gently guide yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Placing the hands together at the heart. Giving yourself a moment to be grateful for taking the opportunity to focus just on yourself. And giving yourself this time to relax the body, to relax the mind. You'll be able to better show up for others throughout the rest of the day. And I hope that you carry this gratitude with you today and feel a sense of peace and calm even after you leave the mat. Now gently begin to open the eyes, relax the hands down on the knees. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.